So shoutouts to LibraWarrior2004. Once again, I've reset my rankings since he updated his tier list. So, yeah. There's a bunch of new Miis, and, yeah. Amia, yeah, I'm neutral. Apollo, you're cool. Let's see. Asher, yeah, neutral. Bo, you're alright, yeah, I'm neutral towards you. Benjamin, I adore. Brick, you're cool. Asher is inspired by Barons, I know that. And let's see, Apollo, I think, is a mix of Ivo and John. Briella, definitely almost best. Callahan, who's inspired by Dunbar, also almost best. Like, also, these rankings will be different than last time. Well, slightly, see, Camila, who's inspired by Patricia, I slightly dislike. Chen, I am neutral towards you. Chuck, I also am neutral towards you. Cindy, who's inspired by Bruce, I believe. You're pretty cool. Hopefully you like. Cody, you're also pretty cool. Cristobal, who's a mix of Bowen and Jose. Put you right there. I like Debbie. Duncan, who I believe is a mix of Guillermo and Shueran. Yeah, I like you. Eleanor, who's a mix of Joanna and my least favorite Wiyumi and Juliet. You're not my least favorite of these Miis, but I still slightly dislike you. Empress, who's inspired by Leonie. You can see, yeah, I like you. Fiza, who's inspired by Claudia. I also have a Mii named Fiza. Almost best. Fatima, who's a mix of, I believe, Mizuho and Paula. Yeah, sorry, I slightly dislike you. Felipe, I dislike. Felix, who's inspired by Skip, I'm neutral towards you. Francesco, who's a mix of Bernardo and Bruce, I like you. Even though I'm not a big fan of either Mii. Gabrielle, who's inspired by Wii U Kentaro, you're pretty cool. Goku, who's inspired by Zekai, you're almost best. Alright, Hamoud, I adore you. Harper, I hate. Heidi, who's inspired by Mizuho, I think a Wii recreation, actually. I like you. Henry, yeah. Holly, Living Legends. She's inspired by Polly, but also a Mii Arena contestant. Itsuki. Alright. Yeah, Jack's almost best. Jock, who's inspired by Jesus. And not really feeling it. Jasmine, who's inspired by Maria. Almost best. Javier. No. Jella. I like you. Yeah, I slightly dislike Jennifer. Yeah, I dislike Jeremiah. I like Jessica. I think that's her name at least. Kenichi, I like you. You're inspired by Wii U. Let's see. Kenji. I also like you. I also like Kyle, the mix of Yost and Maximilian. Let's see. Lindsay, you look kind of like Twinkle, but I adore you. I don't like Logan. Even though he's inspired by me, I like being Heejun. I like Lorelei, and I'm neutral towards Luis. I adore Luke. I slightly dislike Marisa, who's inspired by Masako. I'm saying who they're inspired by just for those who didn't. Oh no. I like Martina. I like Mary too, even though she seems to be hated. Let's see. Megumi is almost best. She's the mix of Haixiang and Faustine. Let's see. Mei, who I believe is the mix of Xiao Tong and Zikai. Could be wrong on that one. I'm not a big fan of her either. Mike, I'm neutral towards. Naya, I think that's your name, who's inspired by Haruka. I like her. See, Nick. Absolutely a living legend. He's inspired by Changhan, as you could probably guess. Phoebe, I am neutral towards. Priscilla, the mix of Adrian and Gina. Yeah, I like you. Raiden, the mix of Jihoon and Joseph. I dislike. Raul, I'm neutral towards, or actually I think it's Raul. Raymond, no. Royce, I like you. I like you too. Ruby. Ryan, the mix of Mark and Pedro, I dislike. Sakura, yeah, I adore you. She's inspired by Shishi. Sally, who's inspired by Jalan. I like you now. I used to hate you, but yeah. Santiago, I dislike. Sarabi, I like you. Scarlet, who's inspired by Wee Barbara, almost best. Stacy, who's inspired by Sarah. I dislike you, even though I like Sarah. Stephane, I'm neutral towards you. Sugar, yeah, you're still a living legend. She's inspired by Millie. Taylor, neutral. Tessa, yeah, I do not like Tessa. Let's see, Theodore, I'm neutral towards. Tiffany, who's inspired by Christina. Yeah, I like you. Tim, almost best. Vanessa, I like you. White, who's inspired by Machias. I hope I did that right. I'm terrible with the French R sound, so yeah, I'm neutral. Kosa, who's inspired by Kaori. Sure, I like you. Yui, who's the mix of Pian Pian and Xiao Jin. Sure, I like you. Alright, and now to the newbies. Arturo, who I believe is inspired by Wii U Eduardo. I'm neutral. Bristol, who's inspired by Leonel. Since Leonel is my favorite Wii U Mii, I kind of have a bias here. Connery, who's inspired by Araceli, I believe. Yeah, of course. Dante, I am neutral towards. Derek, I slightly dislike. Edna, who I believe is inspired by Xu Ping. I'm neutral towards you. Ethan, who I'm pretty sure is inspired by Xiaojian. I like you. Yeah, I like. I slightly dislike Eugene. Everest, who's inspired by Susie and Araceli from Me Arena. Of course, you're a living legend. Halfie is inspired by Zuzana, so of course. Right. Oh, come on. Oh, there we go. Gale, who is inspired by Yuya, I believe. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I'm just having some lag. Oh, no. Why are you doing this to me now, computer? Of course, when I want you to work, you don't work. So, Gale, I like you. Grayson, who's inspired by Maximilian, I think. I like you. I haven't really gotten much confirmation as to their for some of their inspirations. I adore Gwen. I believe, yeah, she's definitely inspired by Faustine. Let's see, Hachiro, who I believe is inspired by Roy Lin. Yeah, I like you. Hannah, who's a mix of Fexty from Marina and Julia. Definitely. Iris, who's inspired by Shuiren. Yeah, I like you. Jacob, who is one of the Miis on the Wii Sports Club art, like the game cover. Yeah, I adore you. Jamie, I don't know if you're inspired by anyone, but yeah, I like you. Lauren, no. I'm sorry. Alright, I believe your name is Larry, and you're inspired by Laura. I like you. Nicole, the mix of Adrian and Nade, of course. Oscar, the mix of. I might be biased since I came up with the idea for this one, but yeah, he's inspired by his show and LibraWarrior's own me. Oswald. Slightly dislike. Patrick. Yeah, I like Patrick. Roxanne, who I'm pretty sure is inspired by Sophia. I don't like Sophia, but, you know, I like you. Shiloh, I think that's how you say it. Or Shiloh. No, I slightly dislike you. Tasha, who is the. I don't remember who she's a mix of. I think it's Barbara and someone else. I like her. Alright, Thiago. He is actually awesome. Like, even though I do not like Jianjun from the Wii U, you know what? I'm gonna put him up here just for the heck of it. Trent, who's inspired by Rui. Yeah, I adore him. Unique. Absolutely a living legend. you could probably guess why. For those who probably are wondering why, it's because she's inspired by my Wii U me, Francesca. So yeah, I put Eunice in like. So yeah, he's inspired by Merrick. And Zara, who I think is a mix of Xiao Tong and someone else. I like her as well. And yeah, that's my updated rankings for LibraWarrior 2004's Wii U CPU Miis. So yeah.